Hi, I'm Jersey Joe Archino here with Ian Sacks, the incoming editor-in-chief of the Ionian. Ian, thank you very much for spending some time out of your busy schedule. The first thing I really want to talk to you about is you've been in this organization for a long time. It means a lot to you. You've done a lot of work here. Does it feel a little bit different now that you're going to be the one running the show?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my brother was an editor on the Ionian back when he was here, so it's been in my family for a long time, but certainly it's a completely different view from coming in as a freshman, being just a lowly staff writer, writing a couple sports articles, now working my way up, being in charge. It's a great thing, and, you know, the power is nice, but, of course, you have to rely on your writers, and working my way up, I know what it was like to be a lowly writer, and seeing now how much the editors are dependent upon them, it really gives me a pleasure to see both sides.
And I think that's an interesting point you made there, too, is going through, working your way up. I think for you, can you talk about the changes that you've seen? I mean, especially in the media, we're used to seeing changes all the time, especially in the medium, in the field you're in. We're constantly seeing change. But what about you? I mean, do you expect more changes going forward?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think that when you look at it, with the way that multimedia journalism is really the new craze, and it's not just print, it's not just radio, it's not just TV, it's a combination of all three that you have to have. You have to be able to write a story, take your own pictures, conduct a video interview, do something for radio. So really, it's all different levels, and we see that, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't just worked my way up in the Ionian. That's why I joined WICR. That's why I joined ICTV, because I think that if you're one-dimensional, employers aren't going to hire you. But if you show that you can do multiple things well, then you're going to be very in high demand.
Well, we all understand that, and especially from a social media perspective. Obviously, as you know, I mean, if you're not on social media, what are you doing? And I mean, from your organization's perspective, how do you kind of promote your brand? Because, again, you are from a physical standpoint, you have your paper out there, but how do you get that material so everyone can kind of get access to it?
Well, that's the challenge that you have, because you have your traditional people who like to pick up a newspaper and see it in print and hold it when they read it. But then you also have your other people who want to go online. They don't want to spend the time to pick up the paper. They think it's bad for the environment and everything. And they want to get their news like that and real fast. So they go right to our website. Now, we're lucky to have a very good social media director in Connor, and we have a great web manager in Randa. But, you know, it is a challenge because you have to focus on both platforms.
Well, I think another challenge that I want to ask you about is the sports thing, because obviously you cover sports as well as anybody around here. Are you kind of a little bit distraught at the fact that you won't be able to put all your hat into the sports thing? You kind of got to be a little more diversified in that front?
Well, certainly. I mean, it has been a difficult change for me in that when I came in, I said, you know what, I want sports, and nothing else. And then last year, when I was the assistant sports editor, assuming I would just take over for Joe D as sports editor, and they said to me, you know, you've been doing a lot of good things. Would you want to go into managing editor this year, which is like the vice president? So you learn the ropes of being one of the top editors and overseeing the entire paper. And then this way, senior year, you could be editor-in-chief. I had to think for a minute and say, wow, do I really want to do this? It's going to involve doing a lot of things that aren't sports. But, you know, I thought about it and I said, that probably looks great. And I think it's a great way to expand my horizons. And then even starting last year, as I was transitioning into managing editor, I started to take on some articles that weren't only sports. So that then this year, in my role as managing editor, I've been able to, you know, stay with sports, but still do some other news stories. And it's been a great transition. And next year, it's just going to continue that. But of course, I am still going to have a bright spot in my heart for sports.
I would expect nothing less. And look, it seems like you've clearly got a vision. You really know where you want to bring this organization. If you had to kind of pick one point in your first meeting that you want to really hone in, hammer in on people for next year, the goal, the outlook, what would that be?
Well, I have to say that I'm going to sound a lot like a basketball coach here. And when I meet with the editors, I'm going to say, you know what, we are not we are not just a collection of individuals. We don't have a news editor. We have a news editor, but we have a sports editor. We have an arts and entertainment editor. We have a features editor. But it's not that you do your own 2 or 3 or 4 pages of the issue and then you're done. We are a collective group, and we run the Ionian, which is a 16-page publication. You're not just in charge of 2 pages or 3 pages, even though that's what you're going to be mainly in charge of. Everyone is going to come together.
Well, the man with the plan, Ian Sacks, really appreciate the interview. You got a great vision for this place. I'm really excited to see how you take over, though. But reporting from the Ionian and with Ian Sacks, I'm Jersey Joe Archino, signing off.